welcome to Web of Stories. My name is Melinda and I am here with a book review. A few weeks ago, I did a book review on a book called The Girls on Chalk Hill by Alison Belsham, and I'll put a card up to take you to that video review. I really enjoyed that book, and as it happens, the second book in the series was coming out in quick succession. It actually is published today, which is July 11th, and I was able to get an arc of it through NetGalley, which I devoured. So let's walk through this one. The setup of this, and this is all in this is not a spoiler, this is all in the first chapter, is a young girl she's climbed to the top of a tower. This is set in Canterbury, England, and she's referencing a landmark which sounds like it's a historic tower. And the girl is very clearly contemplating suicide. And this girl's 13 years old. And she's starting to back out in her mind. She gets on a chat room with some people who are egging her on, and then they said, look, this person Nix is going to come help you. And Nix shows up, and Olivia, that's the girl's name, says she's changed her mind, and Nix says that's too bad. And the next thing we know is Lexi Bennett, who is our detective, happens upon the crime scene. Well, wasn't a crime scene at that point. Happens upon Olivia's body at the bottom of this tower. Looks like a suicide. All indications point to suicide. As the reader, you know there's something more going on because that's all outlined in the first chapter, not a spoiler. But to Lexi, something doesn't look right here. And then it goes on from there. There are additional suicides that start looking strange, and Lexi and her team are left to try to unravel what's going on. So, what did I think of this book? What did I like? I liked a lot of it. As I said, I read it really quickly. I really just, once I got going, I read part of it on Friday night and I got, okay, I can stop and go to bed. And Saturday, once I hit a point in the book, you can't stop. You just cannot put that book down. What I love about this series, and what Belsham seems to do really, really well, is the procedural part of a procedural novel, police procedural. She really gets into the nuts and bolts of what the detectives do to solve cases like this. And you can tell she has done her research. I don't know if she has a background in it. I haven't looked that closely into her biography, but she definitely has a lot of knowledge about it. And she's very good about articulating that in a way that keeps the reader engaged, but also makes it understandable for the reader. This is a very good mystery. I mean, you do know that there's someone out there who's kind of orchestrating all this, but you don't know much who this person is. And you follow along as Lexi starts to try to figure it out. And I was very engaged in this mystery. I think the clues were good. I think the clues are just ever so slightly a little more obvious in this book than it was in the first book. So if you read The Girls on Chalk Hill and thought something here is like, I don't think Belsham played fair, which she did. I will say that Belsham did play fair in that book, and she plays fair in this one. This one, clues are ever so slightly a little more obvious, so you shouldn't have that issue. We see more of Detective Lexi Bennett's team in this one, which I did like. I did like seeing the other people on her team work together and see the dynamics of that. And as the series goes on, I'm sure you're gonna start to see even more of that, and they're gonna individuate themselves even more. There's a character at one point in the book who says to Lexi, I know what your superpower is. It's your empathy. And that is really what makes Lexi such a compelling character, because she does have great empathy for the victims, the family of victims. You see that much more in this book, because in the first book, the crime in question is very personal to her. It is related to her personally. In this book, it isn't as much, although she still has great empathy for everything that's going on. And she is in great pain about seeing these deaths. She's also, she's not perfect. And I like that. And one of the ways in which she's not perfect is she can make brash and stupid spur of the moment decisions. This happened in both books. And in both books, what I did like about it, like, it's frustrating for me, like, reading the character that she does this, because you're like, don't do that, you idiot. No, don't do that. But it doesn't frustrate me with the book because it's recognized as a stupid decision on her part. And she's called out on that. And so I can't fault the writing for that. It's just the character. It's just something about the character. But she does that too. It is consistent throughout. So I'm really interested in hearing more about this character. We still are being dropped hints that there's more to her backstory. And I can't wait to see what that backstory is. As far as things I didn't like about it, the only thing I can really say, and this is more falls into a content warning thing than like a fault. This is not a fault of the book. This is a content warning. From what I described, it's pretty clear this book deals with teen suicide. I am the parent of a preteen and a teen. This book was hard to read at times. It just was really painful to read at times. Again, not a ding on the book. That's actually almost a compliment to the book because it's written so well, but take care of yourself. If you're in a position where maybe this isn't what you want to be reading, understand that. My other thing, and this is such a tiny, teensy little thing. I hope that future books don't have the word girl in it because I think we've kind of moved past that girl, woman in the title sort of thing. And these books don't fall into that genre. These are not a case of unreliable narrator things that the girl books usually are, but the titles of the books kind of leads you to think they might be when these are not. These are police procedurals. So I'm really interested to see what comes next. I hope they work on the title a little bit. I also really love, and I forgot to mention this earlier, I really love the setting. She really brings Canterbury and Kent to life. That's where these books are set. And between the history, the historical sites, and the modern sites, it's excellent. So I enjoyed this. I gave this book an A. If you are looking for a good procedural series that you kind of want to get in on the ground floor, yes, there are 2 books out with this, but there's only 2 books so far, so it's easy to catch up on, and they read quickly. I would check out the Detective Lexi Bennett series by Alison Belsham. The first book is The Girls on Chalk Hill, and the second book is The Girls Last to Cry. So thank you very much. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.